Hi, I'm Nicholas Jeffery. I am the CEO of Uniserve, based here in Canada, and I'd like to take you through the presentation. The presentation was actually 20 minutes, but I'm going to try and digest that down to 5 or less. If you need any more information, don't hesitate to give us a call. So data has now been classed as the new economy. It's overtaken oil. It's really important. But my presentation was all about trying to understand how data interacts with a smart city or smart building environment, and what are the tools that we have as Uniserve. So think of data in the new data economy a little bit like the Vitruvian Man from Leonardo da Vinci, the guy that stands out like this. It's a really simple analogy. The brain is the IoT, the veins are the wireless and the wireline, and the beating heart is the data center. That's how we're trying to string everything together. The interesting piece, there's a lot of curiosity. There's a lot of curiosity about smart buildings, about smart cities, about the Internet of Things, and nobody's really quite sure how the whole thing's together. So at Uniserve, we're trying to debunk that all and trying to bring all of these loose strands together into one coherent message. Everything is getting smart, but at the same time, everything is getting overloaded. So in the good old days, I used to have 1 or 2 ways of getting hold of Nicholas Jeffery. There are about 14 ways of getting hold of me at the moment, and I'm constantly trying to get that information together. When I started my career, when I said I'll drop you a line, it sort of meant I'm going to resend you a letter and I'm going to send it to you in 14 days. Now, if I don't respond to an email in 14 minutes, people are sending me another email saying, did you get my last email? So we're creating our own worst enemy environment. The next thing is that Canada is in a perfect storm. And I think Canadian companies and Uniserve can take advantage of this. Whatever is happening in Europe with Brexit is confusing the data landscape. We're not really quite sure where we should place our data, where we should place our data centers, what's going on with data sovereignty and data security. Donald Trump is confusing the market between rhetoric and policy and talking about visas and where all of these people within Silicon Valley can reside and where the data's got to be kept to avoid things like the Patriot Act. There are lots of opportunities within the data center market in Canada. I think we need to take advantage of them, but we need to understand the differences. We've just won a very large blockchain project, which is sort of 40 megawatts of power consumption. But a lot of industries need speed, they don't need power. A lot of people need security, they don't need cooling. So we have to look at all of these things because every opportunity is not the same. So we're advocating what I'm calling whole brain thinking. You know the concept, the left brain and the right brain, the black and white versus color, the analog versus digital. We're primed to bring all those together to look at the core products that Uniserve have and now start to deploy them in different ways. So if we're going to build a data center, who is going to be the audience? If we're going to deploy a smart city, what is the benefit for the users? If we're going to deploy a smart home, what's the benefit for the residents? There's a lot going on. We take advantage, have a look at uniserve.com and see some of the great things we're doing. Thank you.